Let me introduce you to our guest. Obdulia, LD2 Obdulia Esparza holds a degree in communication and political science. With over 15 years as a businesswoman, she represents Opulence Global with business partners across Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, and North America. She has received multiple leadership awards between 2014 and 2018 and was a speaker at the Leadership Summit of an Opulence Global 10th and 11th anniversary conventions. Obdulia is a member of the Leadership Council Group, an elite team advising the president on global company decisions. As a mentor, she has empowered thousands worldwide. Together with her partner, Danny Ferreira, she is now leading Opulence Global, launched and developed in Mexico and Latin America to positively impact her community. A proud mother of 16 years old, Alexander, she manages her Opulence Global business, runs consulting firm for nonprofits, and has 15 years of board experience, including graduating from the Latino Board Leadership Academy. She also founded Beleza Mexico International org to celebrate Mexican culture and inspire Latin women as community role model. Help me welcome our LG2 Obdulia Esparza. Welcome. So happy to be host. Take over. The floor is yours.
Thank you, MC. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me see if I can share my screen really quick. So thank you again, MC. You're doing an amazing job as a host. I'm so excited to be here with all of you tonight. It's just 6 p.m. my time, so it's kind of like good timing for me. I know as many times I take the calls at 6 a.m. and it's like, oh my God, it's a little early. So, but I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to do the next 30 days training with all of you. And today is going to be a little bit different from what you see in another next 30-day training. So I want everyone to grab a notebook, to grab your agenda, and to have a pen and pencil ready. I have everything with me here. I have my notebook, I have my agenda, I have paper to write on. Today we're going to be doing a lot of participation. It's not going to be where you can multitask and cook dinner and, be on another phone call and, like be distractive. I really want your attention. I think, we know that we have the best company, the best CEO, the best compensation plan, the best product out there in multi-level marketing and anything. We just need our effort. We just need to do our work. And today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be focusing a lot on what we need to do as independent consultants. This is all what we're going to be doing. So today I invite you to really write down a lot of notes. I know that for many of us, when we have our cell phone, like right here, I'll just take notes in my cell phone, or I just do a voice recording. That doesn't work. Trust me, if it's gonna get lost. You're gonna have thousands of notes in your phone and just gonna disappear. But if you have it in a piece of paper, if you have it in your agenda, you're gonna see the difference in your growth. And you're going to see how you're going to be successful and reach your targets, okay? If you plan to make $1,000 extra per week, what is your plan of action? I'm going to be helping you with that today. If you plan to make $5,000 extra per week or per month, what is your plan? And I'm really going to be focusing on that today. I'm really want to be focusing on the baby steps. And I call them baby steps because it's like little by little what we have to do, right? I know this may be your first training on the next 30 days. Or maybe you've been taking this before, but you haven't put it into work. Remember, we can be in this training every single week. But if we don't practice what we learn, we're going to continue in the same place. We're going to continue in the same position and continue making the same money that we're making right now if we don't work, okay? So I'm going to be going over today to our, establishing your daily method of operations. What is it? What is it called, a DMO? The DMO is to incorporate these income generating activities. We can be making lots of phone calls just to say, hi, how you doing? And blah, blah, blah. But if you're not booking appointments, if you're not booking people to come and see the opportunity, whether it is online or in person, that's not counting for your business. I know that we get lost many, many times, and I'm here to help you to focus on creating activities and that are going to be helping you with your business. So we call it IGA, income generating activities, and your DMO, which is your daily method operation, is going to help you with that. So I print out, for example, our agenda or weekly schedule, and I want you guys to, if you have an agenda, because I do, I'm still like old school where I need to write things down. Things are not in my phone, to be honest. They're in my paper agenda. I invite you guys to really, think about your daily activities. If you're a mom, if you still have a full-time job, if you still have a part-time, okay, it's totally okay. But what are they going to be the hours that you're going to be investing into your business? I want you to write down those hours. I want you to make sure you share those with your sponsor and with your My5, because you want to make sure that they know when is a good time for them to call you. Or for example, when is a good time for you to schedule 3-way calls with your My5. Right? And when you're making a phone call to a new prospect, and when you're trying to schedule a tour, or you're trying to schedule a 3-way call, you want to have your agenda with you, because you want to know exactly when you're available. You want to look very professional, and the only way you're going to look professional is if you know when you're working for you, what time are you working for your business. For example, are you available, every day from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.? You already know that, right? If you're going to be working in your business, you can book appointments during that time. How about evenings? Are you available from 5 to 8 p.m.? What are the hours that you're going to be dedicating to the business is so important. Remember, to be considered a part-timer, you need to be working on your business for at least 20 hours a week. If you want to push it and be a full-timer, then you want to make sure that you dedicate 40 hours a week. Okay, so let's make sure that we are very, very honest with ourselves, very honest with what we're doing for our business, because it is the only way that we're going to be able to see growth. Okay, so your daily method of operation, it comes in 5 different steps. One is someone to connect, something to say, someone to present to, and infinite follow-up and duplication. So when it comes to your daily method operations, you want to make sure that you know who you're going to be contacting, what are you going to be saying, what are you going to be presenting, or who are you going to be presenting to, and infinite follow-up. Also ask for referrals and duplication. So I'm going to teach you how to continue building your list of prospects, so that you never run out of names, and you never have like, oh my God, I don't know who to call today. I want to make sure that you always have new names in your list, so that way you can always continue making your daily calls. I'm also going to teach you and help you to see different scripts. I have a lot of them in Spanish, but I translate them into English. So let's see how they look in English. They are, simple scripts that I'm going to be sharing with you, because you want to be prepared. If you're calling a prospect, you do not want to look like, what am I going to say? Am I inviting this person for tomorrow, or when is in the meeting? No, you have to be ready. You have to be like, know exactly what you're going to say. Know exactly when are you available for a tour, if they want to do a one-on-one, if they want to meet up for coffee, if they just want to do a online tour. You want to be ready to send those links to that prospect. Okay. And of course, someone to present to, you want to make sure you have a person and infinite follow-up. So one of the things that I want to talk to you today is, I want to talk to you about your 7 shots hot list, or the hot shot list. I want you to think about 7 people. And right now, I'm not going to be crazy, but I'm going to stop talking for about a minute. And I'm going to ask you to write down 7 names that come to you. You can take a look at the screen, okay? Think about the people in your network who think like you, who act like you, who have the same work ethics, who have the same determination, who want their lives to change just like you, who will love to do whatever it takes to change, and who will never give up or stop until they have achieved the change they want. In your network, think about those 7 people. And I'm going to be quiet for a little bit because I want you to write them down. I know it's kind of uncomfortable when there's no noise, no background, no. But I think it's the only way. If you don't write them down, it's going to take you forever to write them down. And I mean forever, like, another year, another 6 months, another 2 months that you don't make those phone calls. So I invite you, and I'm going to share with you, I actually have a really nice photo with our amazing Danny Ferreira, because we had a photo shoot last month. We were in Toronto. And, when I think about someone who thinks like me, who acts like me, who has the same work ethic, the same determination, wants to their lives to change and do whatever it takes, and wants to work hard with you and never give up. I think about like Danny. We are working together day and night, and we've been sharing this, in the last few months, that we are working as a power couple, as a power partners, on this dream to grow the Latino market. And I just invite you, all of you, to write down 7 names of those people that you want to work 24 hours a day, maybe for the next year, that are going to be helping you, and you're going to be helping them grow their business. So, of course, there's going to be a lot more people, but those 7 people are going to be so crucial for you to grow and for you to achieve your next target. All right, so let's continue our list. That was only 7 people, right? So to continue growing our list, we need to continue building a strong prospect and customer list. It's very essential for the growth and the sustainability of your Opulence business. And this is a strategy plan to help you attract, engage, and retain valuable customers base. So we're going to define your target customer. For now, we're going to be writing down names, okay, that are going to, like, if you think about like previous networking contacts that you worked or you met in different meetings and different mixers, write down those names. Qualify family and friends. Advertising leads. You also want to think about who's your accountant, who's your banker when you go to the bank, who takes your cash, who helps you with any questions regarding your loans, the carpet cleaner, the congressperson, the dry cleaner, the florist, the hairstylist. Think about your day-to-day activities, because when you go to grab breakfast in the morning or to grab a coffee, who helps you with that? Who's your mechanic, your insurance agent, your minister, your rabbi, your priest, your photographer, the travel agent? Who think about this list. This is just an idea, okay? Who do you go to school with? Used to be your teacher, your professor, is your old boss, who went with went with you to church, to the beach, owns a restaurant that you go to eat every Sunday with your family, for example, who install your appliances, who is the local chamber of commerce, goes to church with you, watch the Super Bowl with you, who's the is a policeman in the military, works at the video club, or who just think about what I'm trying to say here is like, we think, oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna add this person to the list because I don't think they're gonna like it. I don't think they're interested on. Don't judge, just keep adding people to the list. You're gonna be surprised that the person that you thought the list like is gonna join the business is your superstar. Okay, so make connections. Use the following memory joggers to help to create your clients, your prospect master leaves. Who's your neighbor? Who is the teachers of your kids? Who was your bridesmaid? Your babysitter, your friends on Facebook, Instagram. We have a lot of great, we have a lot of people in our social media. So just by that, I know you need to start. A lot of the times you still need to do a lot of like and trust because you don't know them much, but you definitely want to add them into the list and start building that like and trust with all of them. Who's related to your parents, your grandparents, your sister, your brother, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, who's related to your who saw your boat, your car, your carpet, your computer, your furniture, appliance, glasses, contacts. So again, think about your daily activities, like when you walk out of the house, who do you see first? Where do you go? Maybe the person in the gas station, and if you don't have a gas car, maybe the whoever you meet in, when you charging your electrical car. Just continue building that list because you want to make sure again that you never run out of names. Okay, find your customers' why and their pain point, motivation, identify challenges or desires that your Opulence products or business opportunities can address. Used to resonate with your audience as if they have considered working from home. That's a great way to start. Lead the discussion to the business opportunity and its benefits. So I'm going to have a few scripts that I'm going to share with all of you in a minute. You want to turn your single product customer into a multi-product household. And what I mean by that is that you want to make sure that not only are they buying from you Fountain of Life, but they also know about our toothpaste and our Divine, and our new products coming up. And of course, you also have the perfect gifts for Christmas and the perfect, anytime they think about a gift, they know that they can shop, from our fashion lines. So, you want to make sure that you also learn about the demographics, understand key characteristics, age, gender, income level, location, interest, and trailer products to your audience. If when it comes to our Posh line, which is a fashion line, you may think that, maybe it's more like for young people, moderate income, because it's affordable, correct? When you think about a more like a higher income, mature, then maybe FERI and FERI Marsh is more like what they're looking for, what they fit in, what they're used to be wearing. So you always want to be looking for those demographics to make sure that you always have customers for all the different products that we carry. Define your target customers, define, for example, the lifestyles, align values and buying behaviors with the offerings. For example, FERI Microsilver target individuals with great dental health, Divine perfect for athletes who often deal with pain from insane workouts, FERI and Mosh perfect for someone with style who loves fashion. Take a moment to compliment their taste and ask if they ever consider a career in fashion industry. Community engagement activities, high Opulence cares to attract a broader audience. And of course, engage with your target customers. Remember, Conversations leads to action, so get creative with questions that spark meaningful discussions and could potentially result in new VIP shoppers or team brand partners. Here's some conversation that that you can start with. Just if you haven't taken a photo or write them down, I think writing them down will be better. Did you enjoy book shopping with massive discounts? Well, if they say yes, then you have an open window, open conversation to start with a person. How would you feel about tax-free shopping or access to high quality, safe products? Are you dealing with pain? Well, you need divine. Suffering from certain health conditions, you need fountain of life. So be open to ask questions. Make sure you always ask open-ended questions so you get more information out of them. Listen to your prospects, listen to your customers. Remember, I think you should be listening 80% of the time and only talk 20% of the time. So be a great listener, because you're going to learn so much from those people that you see every day, and you definitely want to take that opportunity. All right. So when writing and approaching someone, be warm and inviting, keep it short and personal, use the recipient's first name. You also want to build curiosity, make it about them, focus on financial freedom, luxury, or exclusivity, spark interest without revealing too much, effective communication, and end with questions that is easy to say yes to. Offer the prospects 2 specific options for meeting times. And I'm gonna, for example, is Tuesday night good or Saturday afternoon better? You always want to be ready with your agenda. And I think I already talked earlier about that. You always want to have your agenda and you know exactly what are the timings that you're available, because those are the timings that you're gonna suggest to your prospect. Okay, you don't want to go back and forth. Oh no, that doesn't work for me. No, you want to be prepared. You want to be professional, and it only takes a minute to take a look at your agenda. And because you already know what hours you're working for your business, because that was the part of, that was our first exercise. You already know what hours you're working. So you already know what hours you should be, available. And of course, those are the hours and timings that you are going to suggest to your prospect, so that it is easy to schedule, or it becomes easier to schedule those appointments. If they say they cannot make it to any of those, make sure you follow up in a week or a month. Make sure you always keep following up. Infinitive follow-up, remember? All right, so I have some scripts that I just changed. This is, I used ChatGPT today. So this is for, of course, I'm always calling Donnie. So I'm going to use this. So this is an option 1. It's a gentle storytelling vibe. Okay. Hey, Donnie, do you know I've been wanting more balance, something that lets me grow, travel, and still have time for the things that I truly matter. I finally found something that brings all of that together: financial freedom, wellness, and a touch of luxury. It honestly feels like the start of something new, and I need to share more details with you. So again, she's my warm market, right? She already knows me and she already knows that I like this. So this is a perfect script to a warm market prospect. And the way you want to end it is, are you available later on today or tomorrow morning? Or are you available tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, what it is, Wednesday or Thursday? So you always want to make sure that you book, because you don't want to just show excitement and like talk about the business, but you don't know when you're going to meet. Like, if you're already doing all this effort to contact the person, you want to make sure that you offer them 2 different times. Like this example, is Tuesday night good or Saturday afternoon better? So you always want to make sure that you finish this. I didn't add it here, but you want to make sure that you always finish with, are you available tomorrow or the next day? Because it's impossible for you to go back. To be honest, it's impossible for you to go back and say, oh, by the way, remember the other day I called you about this amazing opportunity. Now I would like to schedule an appointment with you. Come on, that doesn't look good. You want to present that, and you want to also schedule. I have more scripts, and I think this one is in Spanish. This is exactly the same one, but in Spanish. And I have like, a little bit more like showing emotional and inspiring. This is also, hi, Danny. As you know, lately, I've been thinking a lot about creating a life that feels free, not just financially, but emotionally too. And then I came across something that connects everything I've been looking for: purpose, freedom, and that sense of everyday luxury. It is too good not to share. I need to tell you more about it soon. Can we schedule an appointment for tomorrow morning or Friday afternoon? So just, a little, like, I just want you guys to also practice, because these are just examples of scripts to reach your prospects. But there is so many ways that you can make and customize your own script. Something that makes sense, something that it flows, something that it's easy for you to go with, and something that is going to catch the attention to your prospect, and they're going to be like, yes, let's meet. Right? So it's not too much information, but it is warm. It is telling them a little bit about it without telling them the whole story. Oh yeah, you don't want to say, oh yeah, we have fashion, beauty, and health, and we have this and that. No, you don't want to share all of that. Leave that for the presentation. Okay. All right. So of course, always ask and make sure you have your agenda. Are you available? Always give them 2 options for meeting time. I also have some scripts for voice notes. So when you leave in a message in WhatsApp, these are like some examples that you can leave a voice message. I definitely recommend you talking to the person first. If that person doesn't pick up, then you leave a voice message, right? And these are just some examples for voice notes that you can leave either in their voice message or in their WhatsApp. Anyways, so I'm going to be talking now. I'm going to be moving on into our 2 minutes presentation, 2-minute story. And once, this is part of the sharing your business in a very simple way. Telling your story is very important, and crafting your 2-minute story should be a priority for your business. So earlier, I asked you guys to write down 7 names for the 7 people that you want to contact. And now it's time for us to write down your 2-minute story. Your 2-minute story should consist of when you started your business, why you started your business, who introduced you to the business, a product testimonial, and a business testimonial. And again, if you don't have this, make sure you take a screenshot, because there's so many ways how you can, write this down. I also want to invite you guys to make sure that you're reaching out to your My5. If you're having problems writing this down, you can do it through your My5 chat. Make sure that you make sure that you feel comfortable, and make sure that you have you're sharing it, you're authentic, you're ready to share the business, because those are little things that you can do to feel so confident, and I want you guys to be ready. So my 2-minute stories goes like this. If it's okay if I can share with you all. When I launched my business over 15 years ago, I had one simple dream: freedom. At that time, my son was still little, and like many mothers, I found myself torn between work and family. I wanted to be present for his milestones, not just hear about them. That desire to spend more time with him while also still providing a good life became the heartbeat behind my entrepreneurial journey. It all began when I met someone through a nonprofit organization where I serve on the board of directors. That connection opened a door I never expected. A business opportunity that aligned perfectly with my values and lifestyle. I still remember my very first home show. I made over $500 in profit, And by the end of the first month, my retail sales had brought in over $3,000. That moment was life-changing. It wasn't just about the money. It was proof that I could create something meaningful and successful on my own terms. Fast forward to today, and my organization has grown beyond anything I could imagine, reaching over 60 countries around the world. What started as a personal dream has turned into a global movement, empowering others to find freedom, purpose, and balance in their lives too. So I put my story in, ChatGPT, and I asked them to make it look nice. And I invite all of you to do the same thing, write it down, make sure it's short and sweet. This is less than 2 minutes. I time myself. If this is less than 2 minutes, and it's easy, it shares, it's very personal. It does have all these points. When I started my business 15 years ago, why? Because I wanted to spend quality time with my son, who introduced me to the business. I share a product testimonial because I had that. And now, after 15 years, I'm able to also share a business testimonial. If you're new to the business, don't worry. You can still share testimonials, from team sales, volume, the size of your organization. Remember, the size of your organization, it doesn't just depend on you. It's anyone who is part of your organization. And of course, this is amazing when you share your growth targets in sales income. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. You can still do and make it a beautiful 2-minute story. All right. So moving on, when we have in-person tours presentations, I'm going to give you a few tips. Because I want to make sure that we're being so professional and we're always thinking about our prospects, okay? Remember, your prospects are not making a one-time purchase. It is a long-term commitment, right? These people that you bring in, you want to work with them for many, many years. You want them to become the next LD1 and LD2 and LD3 of your organization. When a prospect sees your business tour for the first time, they're looking at 3 things. They're looking at what is the business, can they benefit from it, and how do you do the business, okay? So yes, you are the role model. You're bringing them to the business and they're looking up to you. So you want to make sure that you are taking every single step that is going to make you look good, that they're going to trust you, and they're going to know that there's going to be a teamwork. It is so important to showcase the support and unity and teamwork before and immediately after they have seen the tour. It is vital for your prospects to feel the unity and caring in your team right after the tour because this teamwork represents hope for them. They are in the business for themselves, but not by themselves. This is very, very normal. We are humans. We are afraid of new things, and we're coming to see this new opportunity. We want to make sure, and everybody who has seen this, different business opportunities and go to something new, you want to make sure that you're there, but you also have the support. You also have the support to grow. There's always you don't want to feel like you're alone. So I recommend you guys, everybody who's going to a live tour, make sure you arrive early with your prospect to build like and trust. This is the perfect timing to, especially if you're in Toronto, you're bringing them to the tour in Toronto in our headquarters. You want to make sure that you are there to do the mingle, because now we're doing the little mixers. Make sure that they have the opportunity to walk the galleries, to see everything that we have from beauty, health, and health and fashion. You want to introduce them to as many other distributors as possible. Avoid the back seats. Never sit in the back. Always sit all the way in the front. Stay in the room with your prospects. Arrange with the presenter to invite you to share a product or business testimonial. This is so important. You want to make sure that your prospect sees you on stage. as you know, even if it's for 30 seconds, sharing your testimonial is so important because they look up to you. Head nod, applaud, and respond to questions that are asked by the presenter. You want to assess the room energy after the tour. If the energy is high, start the post-tour process and the survey in the room with the other prospects. Welcome new launches loudly for others to hear. So if your prospect starts, make sure you're loud and welcome, and make sure you applaud and show the excitement. While leaving the meeting, make an effort to say goodbye to other distributors. Momentum is everything in the post-tour phase, and it's so true. You want to make sure your energy is high. You want to make sure that, from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, everything is super, super high and excited. Now, for those of us who are doing online tours, okay, take your prospect through the Opulence opportunity. Remember, there's a lot of tours going on in Zoom. So you have the opportunity to bring your prospect to one of the PowerPoint presentations, to one of the Zoom presentations. You also have the opportunity to just bring them to your webpage, opulence.com/opportunity, and they get to see this tour that we have here, and they get to change the language. So if you're meeting with someone at a coffee shop, you guys can watch it together. If you're meeting with somebody in your house, you guys can watch it together. If you don't feel comfortable to give the presentation, you can just watch it together, change the language. Again, or open your PowerPoint presentation for a deep walkthrough, or invite them to one of our tour webinars and let the qualified presenters present for you. There should be no excuses, okay? There should be no excuses, because we have the tools to either present the business opportunity through a Zoom call, and we have several Zoom calls throughout the week. We have the online tour there 24/7 in several languages. And we also, when you receive your welcome kit, you also receive a PowerPoint presentation that you can practice with your upline, you can practice with your My5, so that you can present the business opportunity one-on-one with your prospects. Again, we provide all the tools, the company provides everything. All what we have to do is to work and to learn and to practice. And we're almost done. This is our last slide. So after the post-tour action plan, after the tour, it's important to translate excitement and curiosity you have generated into meaningful next steps. You want to answer questions. You want to provide them the survey and fill out the survey with them. Don't leave them alone. Don't go and walk away. You want to offer any promotions that particular day are happening. Recommend the lead package because all of the benefits, and want to make sure that they understand the importance. And if they cannot start in this, then of course the LAP or LA. And give them a thank you gift card. We have a way to thank them different ways. An electronic gift card is one of them. So and of course, when they leave, you want to continue with the infinitive follow-up. And follow up and involve your My5, so your My5 can also help you to close the deal. If this person doesn't join the business at that moment, you want to make sure that you continue following up, so that you're able to help them answer any questions and help them become new members and launch their own business. I think this is over today, MC. Let me double check. But yeah, this is it.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. Oh my, there was so many valuable information and the scripts that you gave us, which is amazing. Thank you so much. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, show her some love. I've definitely grabbed so many things. I took screenshots, whatever. Thank you so much, Obdulia, for the great, great, great presentation.
Thank you. And I want to invite everybody who's on the call who hasn't been a host or a presenter. Make sure that you reach out to Rico. Make sure that you reach out to your My5. The only way we are going to continue to grow is if we are here. I may be nervous. You may be a little bit nervous. Like, I don't even know if you're nervous, but you don't look nervous. But hey, it's okay, right? We have to do it. So It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor, and I invite, if you haven't done it, you should join us, and be the next presenter, because there's always a room for you, and we can always learn from all of us, from everybody. Thank you, MC.
That's it.
MC, there was a
Yes.
question and we never answered it, so I'm gonna answer really quick.
Okay, sorry.
The question was, what if people keep postponing? Do you follow up still? And let's think about it. If somebody's really postponing, you kind of know like the tone. You kind of already know like if they're postponing because it's really true what's happening, or is it because they just don't want to say no. They don't know how to say no, but they just keep postponing. So what I would do is I will show them that I'm also busy, like don't worry, I understand, I understand you're not available, but can I just reach out to you in 2 weeks, and then I'm sure they're gonna say yes, because they're going to be feeling bad that they're postponing on you. And so you're going to be able to reach out to them in 2 weeks. But also you want to show them that you're busy. You want to make sure that you're not just available 24/7 for them. So that's one of the things that really brings people to like kind of like want to join and kind of want to know more about it. If you show them that you're still moving on with or without them.
Good. Say thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Let's do our closing.
Yeah.
One team, one dream, one system, building the billions. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you again, Obdulia, for the great presentation. Thank you for everyone for coming. Thank you. See you Saturday.